I'm back. I normally record a long enough runway at the very beginning here so I can do this voiceover. This time I didn't get that chance because as soon as I got out of the car, I grabbed this one. I saw this guy kind of coming down the sidewalk, and it looks like he's been out here exercising, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I tried to grab him as he passed, and got this one. Yeah, I don't have a ton of negative things to say about this one. This one just felt like a good opener, and we'll take it. I think it's a nice, cool little action shot of this guy, exercising in his wheelchair. Pretty cool. But in this video, I start in this park area where you saw the very first shot, and I wander across down into some apartment areas, and that's where I get the majority of my shots in this video. So yeah, it was fun kind of wandering around back in these areas. I think I got a lot of good, nice compositions, nice balanced frames, and yeah, let's hop into it. For some reason, the idea of the shot was to include the cicadas as kind of a part of the subject on this fence, and in my mind, I imagine there's enough of them on here that they will stand out as they're kind of sprinkled across this post, but they definitely don't as much as I had hoped. You see the one at the top, then you kind of see the exoskeleton of what they come out of there on the right. And then there's that one on the bottom left. It's just there's not enough of them. I wish they were all kind of sprinkled up and down the post in their own little sections to kind of give more emphasis to that. So I'm not quite sure why I grabbed this one the way that I did, but yeah, it's got a little bit of what I hoped, just not enough. This one had a really interesting kind of linear feel to it, like frame from a movie, for some reason. I think, the really kind of linear colonned apartment buildings kind of running through the middle of the frame help kind of layer everything down below it. The little bench there with the perfectly, kind of circular patch of dead grass under it just had a cool look to it. And then the no dogs allowed sign with this kind of old tennis court that it doesn't look like anyone's used in, 20 plus years. Yeah, this one came out really nice. It surprised me a bit. I grabbed this one, just, shot it at the hip and angled it the best I could. I did have to crop this one to correct balance of it. It was like crooked or at an angle, so I turned it so that way it was level. And this is another one that kind of surprised me. I really like this one. The contrast and the color of the buildings, and then all of those like linear lines just kind of running to the random guy in the sleeveless, the camo shirt. It's just, yeah, this one surprised me. I like this one a lot. Just a little moment in behind this hotel, and yeah, I was super happy with this. I grabbed two of these. One of these did not look great. This was the winner. So I like this one. I was in residential places where if people are outside, it's I'm plain as day. I can't really hide a lot of the shots I get. So if I see a moment where they've got their back turned to me or they're not paying attention, I'll grab them, if not shooting at the hip. This camera's funny though, because it's so loud when you go to take the picture. You can hear the film scanning through or pulling through to the other side. It's really funny, the little electronics in the camera. So it didn't really bother me when out shooting. I didn't think about it much until looking at the footage, which was funny. And I think a lot of people don't expect someone to be walking around with a film camera like that. But this one was cool because it's got the American flag at the right. It's got the guy's working on his truck. There's like a little pink Jeep in the front. It just feels like this kind of a stereotypical American scene. The only thing I think I would change is the placement of the guy, and then maybe that little Jeep could be moved over a little bit more. And then his daughter comes out just a few seconds after I take this picture, which may have been interesting too. But this one felt like a mostly incomplete frame, but still a nice one. I like it. Getting kind of crazy with the edits on this one. um, Normally at this point, I have my outro and it's just showing my website and my Instagram. Well, this time I've included a couple images that I was not recording when I took them. I went out to a local restaurant that I hadn't been to in a long time, and that was just kind of a part of my day when I was out shooting. But not a part of the shooting. And I was in there and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna grab this, and I grabbed this one. The lady right here, you can't really tell it in this picture, I mean, I guess you kind of can once I say it, but she was wearing like a witch hat for some reason. This is like, I was here during the summer. I'm pretty sure I shot this like June, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I don't know, it just was kind of random. And I'd hoped that would come in frame a little bit more, like just kind of a random witch lady standing here. And of course, there's all kinds of stuff on the walls and little things here and there that kind of filled the frame that I like. So that's this one. And then I grabbed this one while driving. I think at this point I was heading heading back, and I think this is before heading to that restaurant I just talked about. And yeah, I don't know. I thought maybe I can get this little interaction of this scene a little bit better. You can see the cars kind of in the bottom right hand corner. It's like I'm shooting through my windshield at this. And this one's okay. It's kind of okay. I wanted to include this just because it was a part of the day of shooting, even though I wasn't recording. And just like a police officer talking to a homeless guy. It's not. I don't think it's super interesting, but yeah, something I think about sometimes, grabbing photos while driving safely, of course. Now we'll run the outro.